Y'all smell it?
Yeah.
A little tart. A wonderful win. I'm joking. Wonderful game. Played our hearts out. I just addressed the team and told them that I love each and every one of them, coaches included, because they were resilient. They did not give up when they had multiple opportunities to give up. They fought to the end. We sustained injuries. Next man up came in and did their thing. Marion played his butt off. I think he had a $196. Who else? Several guys played. Kamani came in and contributed tremendously. Did a great job going in. Still had some special teams weren't special. As normal, we got to fix this. We say this every week, but we truly got to fix this one way or another. Running game showed its face, and you see how better the offense flowed with the running game. We still get out to tardy starts. We got to come out ready to play it. I don't know. I got to fix that myself personally. We can't come out and make a surge and right before halftime, then we start saying, okay, we're in the game. They played wonderfully. The quarterback was resilient. They ran the ball. They had hit us with some big play screens and some backside things. But, you know, coaches always say, we didn't do this and we didn't do that. They force you into doing certain things and they force you into making mistakes. But we got to just fix the little issues that we're having. And I don't know if that's age. I don't know if that's just new to the systems. But overall, I'm really proud of not only the young men, the coaches, the fan base, the student body, all of you. I'm truly proud of the way we represented Boulder today. I really am. Let's go.
Hi, Dion.
How you doing?
Good. So, Dion, the throw that Shador made to Omarion in the end zone on 4th and 5, we just asked him about it, and it's just like another play.
Right.
Not really impressed with himself.
Right.
I want to ask you two things. One, when you saw that play, that's a play that is beyond an NFL play. There was no space.
Right.
He found some place to get it in. Where does that part of him come from? And do you remember any moments when you were raising him that he started to show that kind of acumen on the field?
Well, his nickname in my phone, and most of you know that follows us, is Grown. He's very
His
mature.
what?
Grown. G-R-O-W-N. He's very mature for his age. He's very confident. He don't flinch. He never gets flustered. He's the most sacked quarterback in college football, and you can tell with the way he carried himself. He's just a kid that we all knew, and a multitude of our fans know, and some of you wonderful and brilliant writers know, that if we would have got that ball last, we were going to go down and score. We knew that. We know that. Everybody in here knows that. His teammates knew that. And that's just what he brings to the table. He's unflappable. And he's very wise and understanding on the whys and the because and what he sees out there on the field. He thinks a multitude of things through, but he's a dynamic athlete and a dynamic young man. I'm proud to be his father and his coach. Yes.
Coach Prime, I heard an echo from Shador, accountability.
Yes.
As an athlete, I understand that.
Yes.
And that is a true championship mind. And congratulations on Amari. Performance was incredible. In the locker room, is that an echo among everyone, holding themselves accountable?
No, not early on, no, not whatsoever. You got to understand that you can only hold people accountable when you're doing your job. You can't go around here holding everybody accountable when you're not doing your job. So the more that these young men do their jobs and do it like the expectation that we have of them, then they can hold others accountable. But they're tremendous reluctant. There's only a few guys on this team that consistently, you know what you're going to get week in and week out, as well as practice. So once that continues, I didn't think we was gonna get that from Mario. I ain't seen that yet. No, I mean, he hadn't practiced well. That's why he hadn't played. But he was forced into action, and he showed up and showed out, and we celebrated him after the game because of how he stepped up. And now, I'm pretty certain that his confidence is gonna soar through the roof. So now we could really call set plays for him and really depend on him a lot more, because when he could take the pressure off Xavier and Jimmy, and in the running game as well, that's tremendous. But I'm proud of him. Yes, sir.
Coach Prime, even in Jackson State, sometimes your teams got off to a slow start. But when
Jackson
you all,
State, when we get Jackson State? All this going on, when we get that?
but when you all flip the switch, it's almost like a completely different team even
True.
today.
True.
How do you all get that at the beginning of the game so that you can have a
That's game planning, that's scripting, that's going out there understanding what's at hand, and we don't need to get warmed up to do this. We gotta come out smoking and ready to go. Like when we come out the locker room, we're ready. In between the kickoff and the first series, the second series, that's what we have a little lackadaisical type of effort, but that's gonna have to come from the coaching staff as well as the OCs and the DCs to make sure they put us in the right situation so that we're ready to go and understand the personnel that you have out there on the field, and making sure we could call certain things that they can fulfill, so to speak. Great question.
Next question's right here.
Yes, sir.
Ariel Arsuda, 9 News. So you talked about how you're really proud of this resilient team. I don't know whether or not you believe in moral victories. Your son says
I don't.
Your son doesn't
I
either.
don't. No,
yeah.
I don't.
He said he doesn't either.
No.
But is this, at least the second half team, is that the team that you imagined you would have when you stepped foot on this field?
No. The team I imagined I would have to play 4 solid quarters and be really physical and really tough and definitive and just make our mark and leave an impression on not only the opposing team but the coaching staff as well as our fan base. That's what we want to do. We yet to have an identity. I challenge them all week on what's our identity. I don't know who we are. From week to week, I don't know what we gonna do. You know, from practice to practice, I do, but we got to translate that into the games. So we're still searching for our true identity.
Was that close to an identity? Was that second half performance, was that close to an identity?
We gave up points. We're still giving up points. We got to stop giving up those type of points and spotting teams. Yeah, you don't want to do that. We're too vulnerable. But in saying that is no excuses whatsoever. But 3 starters short in the secondary. Tremendous. Our backup right tackle came and did a phenomenal job as well. But Savion went out, and we were praying for the big fella because he was in tears and he wanted to fight and keep it going. But I'm like, hey man, we need you for the long haul, and we're praying for Savion as well.
Coach Prime, we go loud. Coach Reed, the final word. I thought with the transfer portal, that's all I heard in the offseason, but it was nice to see the freshman class come through with some really big plays throughout the game, not only the receiver, but Cormani. You know, I've been up here for practice waiting for him, and it was really nice to see him show out. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because that's got to be a feather in your cap, you know, him taking the field and playing so well.
No, I don't feather for him to take the field and play. He's supposed to take the darn field and play. We want him to be that dude. So, no, we don't give feather whatsoever. We have an expectation of what they should be doing and accomplishing. So, but those 2 young men today, what they did, they stepped out and kind of separated themselves from their yesterday. Their yesterday was terrible, but today they came out and established themselves. We just want them to build on it, because now we will establish this expectation of the expectation that we already had for them. I'm proud of them, and with their success as well, you see young guys. I just saw a couple recruits in. They can't wait to get here in the spring and get going. I mean, so that entices them to make sure they get their schoolwork so they can graduate early, so they can get here and get going. So that's the win as well. Yes.
Ryan Howell for Daily Camera. Obviously, when you took it last week's game and then the first half of this week, like things were starting to fall off the rails a little bit. But the way you guys finished, I know it's a loss. Is that important for you guys and this team to finish the way you did?
Well, it's always important to finish strong. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm ready to go. Not home, but ready to go with it. It's always important to finish strong in whatever you endeavor to do. Why would you start if you don't want to finish right? And I've always prided myself on finishing strong, not only as a player but as a coach as well. in building our team in that aspect. We're well conditioned, we're in shape. It's not like we tired down the stretch, because usually when people tire, they start losing the thought process of it. They start blowing coverages, missing assignments, offsides. And I think we did a good job in penalties. That's one thing we harp on, penalties, time possession. We won time possession today, but give me that stat on penalties. Where were we in penalties?
Sorry, Coach.
Yeah.
7 for 60.
7 for 60. What were they?
5 for 37.
That can't be true. You only have 5 penalties. Well, they had a couple double penalties one time. We should have took both of them. That would have helped us. That and the pass interference on the sideline was really. Fish was like, is anything can I help you with? I said, yeah. Pass interference on the sideline. You can help me with that. That was a big call. That was a big call. But they did a great job. Yes.
Your Boston for 7 Sports.
Yes, sir.
A lot of Hankerson today. Why was he standing out?
He ran the ball hard. He ran good. He's been consistent every game. We try to let everyone touch it to see, how are they going. I think we had maybe 4 or 5 tailbacks that had opportunity to touch the ball today. That's a good thing, because all of them want to play, because all of them deserve to play, because they're really, really good. But Hankerson stood out. He hit it. And, he had a couple one-on-ones in the secondary. I wish he would have shook him and got out of there. But you want to just push pause right there and just throw Dylan in there and see if Dylan can work it out. But Hank is resilient, man. He's been doing a good job. All these guys came, try to come in and force him out, and he wouldn't relinquish his position. So I'm proud of him as well as a man. Yes, sir.
Coach, you talked about how everyone believed that if Shadur got the ball there late
Yes.
and the offense got the ball late, you guys were going to go down and score. I don't know if everyone would have believed that would have been the case in the second quarter. So what does a finish like you guys had do for this team's belief moving forward?
It's tremendous belief-wise, but we got to believe no matter what. It can't be just because it's a quarter or the second half. We do believe in 2. Like, we do. I don't give a damn what down it is, or what quarter it is, or what time of day it is. We do truly believe in what he's capable of doing with this offense. We just got to make sure we keep him in the right situations and protect him. Because shoot, he's a baller. He's a now player. He's a today player that young men want to play with. Receivers are calling from all around the country, want to play with him as well. So they're encouraging him not to look down the street too far, like we all are encouraging him, because we understand what's coming. If you can't see what's coming with CU football, you've lost your mind. You're just a flat out hater. If you can't see what's going on and what's going to transpire over the next several months, something's wrong with you. Yes, sir.
Coach, it could have been so easy for this team to feel sorry for themselves.
Yes, sir.
Feel folded, down 34-7, especially after what happened last week. What do you take away in terms of that light bulb moment that went off for them? And
We challenged them tremendously at halftime to, everybody say they want the light until they get in the light. Now, when you get in the light, the thing about the light, it echoes your blemishes. So we challenged them to come out here and like, I ain't got time to be trying to fire you up and give you the most dynamic speech that I could craft, intellectually, and use some true words that I have to look up in my vocabulary. The thesaurus, how to say that word, Pastor? Thesaurus, yes. I ain't got time for that today. I just wanted to come out there. I want them to lift me up, motivate me, encourage me. Not that I needed it, but I wanted to flip the script on them, because I knew what they had in them. All they had to do is believe. And regardless of the color of the uniforms on the opposing team, they just have to believe. And that's something that they're doing week in and week out.
Okay.
It's growing.
You touched on recruits. We came from Michigan, Bryce Underwood, Adrian Walker were here. Last week you had 3 other athletes from Michigan, Cass Tech, West Bloomfield, and I can't think of it. River Rouge. What's going on in Michigan that you gotta come grab our
I
talent?
guess you guys are raising dogs.
Hey.
Yeah, if you raising dogs, I ain't hard to find.
All right.
Raising cats, I am.
Hey, we know it.
Hi, Coach.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? Nikki
Hey.
Edwards, CU Sports Report. What did you think of Cormani McLean's performance today?
From the naked eye, I think he played well. I would have to watch the film to make sure, it is what it is. So it's hard. It's hard to say now, and you go in and watch the film and you don't know. So I want to really reserve that to watching the film. But I'm proud of him for just even stepping up to the challenge to get his butt in there and make a difference. I'm proud of him. I really am.
Do you think he's been applying what you've been saying to him?
You'd be a fool not to, because you're not gonna play if you don't. You're gonna sit right over there, probably where you sitting at, and watch. But I'm proud of the kid. I'm not gonna change, so somebody's gonna have to. Yes, sir.
Hi, Coach.
Go right over here.
Hi,
Okay.
Coach Prime.
How you doing?
Valerie Wardlaw from the Los Angeles Sentinel. Outside of the state of Colorado, you have thousands of people who have embraced your mission here, the team here. Is the team aware of that? And what are your thoughts about all of the love you're receiving outside of?
I don't know if it's a lot, all love. I don't think it's all love. Maybe check the responses for the coaches that we participate in. But we're excited, truly, with the attention that's warranted to this wonderful, beautiful university. I'm excited and elated to be the coach here. I'm excited to really talk about the wonderful attributes that we possess. The young men, they don't see it because they're in it. You know, oftentimes we could step a foot out of it and we see it from another viewpoint and an advantage point, but they don't see it, and they're so young. I didn't see it either when I was in college or early in my pro career. But I am happy and thankful that we are a voice of hope, of just desire and want. I think that's the thing that's touching souls around the country, that, you know, that down and out person that no one believes in, that person that no one desires, that person that stepped over, stepped by, stepped through, and stepped past, that we represent that person, because no one wants to see what we're doing. They don't want to see us accomplish what we're doing. And I said, and I will reiterate this, you got to be crazy if you can't see the direction that we're headed. And I'm so happy and thankful to be the head coach of this wonderful university.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach, Dennis Dodd from CBS Sports.
Yes, sir.
We all know how good Caleb Williams is. If he doesn't play that way at that level today, do they win?
I don't know. The kid always plays that way. No, I haven't seen him play badly. I mean, I think, you know, he had some throws that I'm sure he would have wanted back, but that kid is a flat out baller, man. He is a difference maker. He makes them better. Thought process, even just directing traffic and putting them in the right play calls in the right situation. He does a wonderful job of checking off and just changing things and getting the ball out of his hands. It was a pleasure for me to play against them and their head coach. I mean, that was fun. That was fun for me. That really was. Probably didn't look like it from probably the shots they probably showed. I don't know what they showed, but that was fun. That was fun.
All right, thanks, Coach.
We good? Excuse me?
That throw, sorry, that throw was fascinating.
Excuse me?
The throw, Shador throw. That throw was fascinating. We see this as fans, we're like, wow, that's incredible. You don't see throws like that. And you and Shador seem to think, feel like it's normal. Is there anything he does that makes you, impresses you or kind of wows you or throws you off?
No, I'm his dad. Like, I have an expectation for him, and I've been seeing this, and he's been built and reared for this his whole life. I mean, you didn't believe, I believe, everybody from the previous locations that we played. I mean, the kid has always won. He's always been dominant. He's always been smart and intelligent and concise. He's always been a competitor. He's always lifted the level of competition, and he's always given us a chance to succeed in every level. So I could go on and on, but I don't want to sound like the dad, but I'm just really speaking to you as the coach. I tried my best not to speak to you as the father, but the kid can flat out play. I know a lot of people doubted him and said I just thrusted him into the starting position. What they call it, nepotism or whatever. All of you should just look in the mirror and slap whatever you see.
All right, thanks, Coach.
You got there later.